alongside Renmar of the draft. Welcome back to the English desk here. It's me, nice Uingon and Renmar, and this is our second match. This is the battle of the skies, if you will. It's Team Falcon versus TNC Pro Team. Who is going to move on forward to face off TLPH tomorrow? We'll find out. Jumping in, there's a whole lot of early poking.
Early poking forced out Yowi's flicker. Now a resource down for TNC.
Yeah, the absolute threat of going up against Abash and Tsuyo together. I was mentioning this in the draft, where these are two presences that are so good at applying pressure into the key contestable areas of the jungle if you really want to invade, and even a Kalea is going to struggle against that, especially up against a Baksha, who also has heal on his own. Oh, I thought Zaida would get caught up there.
We're seeing a lot of this, man. You know, like now, I know even coming into our playoffs, like we saw a lot of the Boxer go into the roam. Seems to work really well, of course, alongside the passive that he brings to a game. He's just great mobility, great tankiness. And then you pair it up with someone like this Badang, and you're able to go and set a lot of things up.
Yeah.
Lancey.
And not to mention beautiful execution there, but Zaida answers back and picks up Ogwin.
Yeah, traded out, but that's rumor for mid, more favorable trade here for Falcons Philippines. Oh, Kaltizi!
Oh, Kaltizi got caught there almost, but Flaptizi with a save. Trying to chase after Kaltizi, and Flaptizi forced them to back off.
All right. Kyle's going to be fine. It's kind of interesting. We haven't seen the Tsuyo, in the last series at all.
Yeah.
Still some poking happening here. Flap will get back, but the turtle's up now, so they're going to go ahead and recalibrate how they're going to do this. Ogwin is back in that, and they're going to go grab the purple buff for now. For now, Zaida can just start this up. They're probably just going to get this unless somehow Kyle gets to this quickly.
Yeah, Kaltizi just going to trade for the purple buff instead, as Ogwin, Flaptizi, and Few
he's going orange
doing their
too.
best to delay, and now he's going to might go for the orange buff trade.
Ooh, easy take there for TNC Pro Team. The fact that they continued to fight for a longer time forced a reaction out of Kaltizi, which meant he would be out of timing to contest that turtle, so he decided to go for the orange buff steal instead. Or was he actually able to secure the orange?
Just one green cap.
Oh, just one green cap. Okay,
Yeah.
he wasn't able to get the orange buff.
Yeah.
So, Kaltizi will be able to get his own. And yeah, we're just back to normal here. I think Falcons need to watch out and not get baited into these long engagements. I think that's something that has to be assessed and addressed.
Yeah, also with this, all-time stats for Ben Cutie on the 1-1. Quite a few games, 21 played, 52% win rate, and a little fun fact too, doesn't he call his daughter? Wan-Wan.
Yeah, the
So,
nickname.
The nickname of it, yeah. Nickname of his daughter.
Yeah,
Wan-Wan.
Is Wan-Wan. One of his heroes that really, I think, probably has some of the most highlights that he's had through his career so far. So we'll see if he's able to pull that off here. There's not too many players that do bring out the Wan-Wan. And you could also say the same thing about his Ask. I know you guys talked about this a little bit in the draft, but is it Lancey? Was there one more? I think maybe one more player in the league probably played the Zask off the top of my head, but there's probably only 2 or 3 that have and found success with it.
I'm not sure if one of them is Super Prince, but for sure Lancey is one of them. And going back to the draft, what Renmar mentioned, they were forced to use this Zask because... Oh, wait a minute! Zaida, we shadow kill. Few was able to Crimson Beacon out. Now the counter Lantern Flare, Super Marco!
Wow.
Disintegrates Zaida. Now Yowi caught there, has the flicker out. Here comes a re-engage from TNC, and Zaida is going to fall down.
Yeah, what a counter though by Few, able to use a Crimson Beacon out just in time. At the same time, force choking Zaida up to set things up for both Ogwin and Super Marco to cap off the kill. Bit of a misread there by Zaida. They were able to trade out the kill, but that's your jungler going down for the mid. Again, another favorable trade for Falcons.
Yeah, so for Falcons, will now possibly get in position for this. The turtle is up. You've got Kyle just around the corner, but so is TNC. Zaida's buffed up as he needs to be, and they might force a fight here. Ogwin might look his own ankle.
Even go for 3 Martizi. Flaptizi already commits fist crack.
Good zone.
Zaida still working on the turtle. Good zone from TNC. Yeah. Zaida picks up the turtle, but Flaptizi with a counter fist break. No ultimate though, but it was more than enough to bring down Yowi.
Okay. Yowi goes down, but it's trade again.
Yeah, they were able to punish out. Good trade, but Falcons, if they break this mid tower, they win the trade, and they do. TNC Pro Team, they zone now, they're doing everything again, but it seems like Falcons always has an answer to something that TNC does right.
They
how you do it, man.
Yeah, they open up the map.
You gotta have what is it called? You gotta have the reaction to every. There's a reaction for every. There's something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, every action
Has a
Has
reaction.
a
has
reaction.
an equal and opposite reaction.
All right, it's way longer than I thought, but
One of the laws of physics.
one of the laws of physics. I haven't seen a whole lot of different physics reels on my algorithm, but yeah, that's
really, I learned that in school, sir.
hey, we didn't have cell phones then, so
What?
turret goes down top side. It's Team Falcons that, the way that Falcons is playing this is just so objectively. And honestly, if you've been watching them for a while,
Yeah.
you know they play this game.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they are the macro team that likes to play through that, and then eventually they'll pop off right around maybe before the first Lord comes up or even in that fight. And you start to see them put pressure now. Now that they've got a couple turrets down, they can play around the advantage they have.
Yeah, and now it's kind of balanced. They're just not banking on the fact that they have to wait for Super Marco to scale up. Even Kyle TZ and View has been a great damage source for Team Falcons. So now they're standing on a 2.5k gold lead, and at this point, it seems like Yawi is having a hard time trying to engage because two of his targets have purifies. Not to mention, Owen has been zoning out TNC.
Yeah, you're seeing Yawi and well, a little bit more focused on Yawi because Terimakasih is actually the roamer for this lineup, while Yawi's more of like the backup.
Yeah.
They're playing a little bit safe, while for Falcons, they're also playing it safe because they're always thinking about the guys we have to watch out for a glue. We're up against a glue. So it's like right now we're seeing two teams kind of overthinking, hesitating a little bit.
Yawi goes in, paired up with a flicker. He caught someone there. It might be onto Kyle TZ. And Zaida picks up the turtle, but the clash still going on. Jamar TZ onto Kyle TZ. Might be able to bring down two. Owen is going to fall down as well. Exchange for Yawi now. Coco. A maniac!
The Storm is online. The namesake of his daughter in his hands, and he gets a maniac to open up the series. That's another reason why Falcons had to be careful. They're up against a 1-1, a very iconic one at that.
Oh man, we talked about it early on. I said, Benny, he loves this hero. And you remember why every single time he does something like that. Again, a great initiation coming through from Yawi with the Tsunami Slam. Zaida cleans up the objective. That 3 for 3 for the Turtles. He does enough damage too to allow Benny Cutie to pop off with the crossbow of Tang. It was because of that shadow kill that was also used from Zaida to allow the health bars to be low enough for Benny Cutie to get that maniac. So just really good timing and initiation. I mean, remember, before all that happened, Falcons was holding on to about a 3k lead. It's gone now, and TNC has flipped the table.
Yeah, I'll also have to acknowledge, just as I said it, Yawi decided to make a play, a very sure one at that. He went ahead, jumped up in the air, flickered forward, landed the tidal strike, knocked up two, grabbed one, and that just set things up incredibly well for TNC Pro Team to follow up. So Falcons have to go back to watching their positioning and acknowledging the fact they're up against a 1-1. Yes, they have the range damage, theoretically, to deal with it, but there's so many bodies in front of the 1-1 that the damage of the Granger is going to have a very hard time seeping through. So it puts so much pressure into the rest of Falcons to just throw their bodies to try and take Benny Cutie down before he could jump up in the air, which up against a very tanky front line of a Kalea and especially a Glue, that's tough, man.
But up against a systematic team like Falcon, one mistake, they'll surely capitalize on that, especially if Super Marco starts to be online once again. First Lord up for grabs. It seems like all neutral objectives actually were secured by Zaida.
Yeah, they're going to keep Kyle TZ down on that bottom side for now. Going to grab his buff. Lord is up, and TNC will have the advantage. Yawi jumps in.
Yawi again with the flicker plus combo. He's going to catch Blab TZ. Falcons, one member down. There was a knockoff on the Lord. Owen trying to soak up the damage, though. Now TNC, it looks like they have to disengage.
He almost blasted Zaida. He's forced to recall. Get on out of there. Benny Cutie looks like he's going to turn TNC Pro Team. Are they turning? Falcons TNC. Slow things down.
Slow it down. Bring it back here. Flap's gone. But hey, that's what you expect with a Kalea. Those initiations, especially when the flicker's available, that's what you want to see happen.
Yep.
They're still going to fight for this Lord, though, trying to get the positioning they're looking for. Quite low already for Few and Owen. They're going to respect it. They're going to have fall back. Side against the Lord.
Few more TC flickers in with a grab. Blab TC counters! What a beautiful fist break, grab, but Benny Cutie again! With a crossbow attack, going to pick up two. Might be able to make it three, but it's going to be Lancy who picks up the
Phoenix they brought into the Champions Arena or what, but I'll tell you what, the Phoenix Army is standing up on their feet when they see plays like that happen here. And so the battle of the skies right now is in charge for the Phoenix. We take a look at this again. It's a first Lord, so it's going to be quick work for Falcons to deal with. But how are they looking in the items department against TNC here?
Oh, Benigidi already has a wind of nature also. So now they can be as aggressive as possible like this. Again, Yaoi, but he was able to purify out. Yaoi got caught, was able to flicker. And now Ogwin trying to go for the charge. Yaoi pops his conceals to back off. Zaida goes in with a shadow. Now here comes Martizi.
Very bad here for Falcon. TNC Pro Team. This looks like this fight. Good look for them. Godlike for Benny.
And now Martizi also picks up a kill onto Yaoi. So that's going to be a 1-for-1 trade.
So it's a 1-for-1. Oh,
good stun. Good stun from Ogwin. Almost got caught there by Zaida.
Good stun. Yeah, Kyle Teasy's still going to get his buff, though, so he's fine. Big item pickup here defensively for Super Marco. Will get the wind of nature, though. But, man, some of these team fights, the way that they're breaking off, and, you know, sometimes Falcons just has to respond to what TNC is doing here. Even if it's the little nightmare spawns, like, those seem to be causing enough issue, too, for Falcons to deal with. And also just how tanky, you know, Thremar and Yaoi seem to be. And Benny Cutie is just untouchable, man.
Yeah.
You can't get to him.
Exactly. Falcons PH. Yes, they rush pick the juice, and again, this is why I brought up. It's so rare to see a rush pick juice in this early on. TNC Pro Team adjusted very well, building around this 1-1. Zask, so many frontliners for it. Yaoi decides to go in, uses the ultimate, he catches one. Got easy, almost brought down low, and TNC Pro Team, this could be another 5-1.
Another kill coming in from Benny as Zaida works on Fu. Benny leading the charge. Lancy picks up one more. Two will fall down for the side of the Falcons.
Woo, TNC. They are locked in this game 1. 25 seconds to the Lord here. They have so much control, so much confidence in the way they're approaching these fights. It's probably going to be another turret that goes down here unless Falcons really wants to stop things, man. 8-0-3 on Benny Cutie just gets the Malefic gun, increasing that range even more, which just means it's even going to be harder now to get to him. That's already been the problem the past, 13 minutes of this game.
And not to mention, prior to that clash, Yaoi already has a fleeting time. That's why he goes in once again, catches Flapteezy. Flapteezy was able to flicker out plus a Winter Crown play. Now they're working on Ogwin. Bennicuti's going to pick up a kill. Another quad full attack. There's going to be a Winter Crown play onto Ogwin, but they catch him still. Zaida from the back, working on them, but a Wiki Shadow kill as 5 members of TNC. Now they focus on the Lord.
Okay, 5v3 does not look good for Falcons. They will not be able to contest this even with Kyle alive. TNC. All the flowers to Coach Semi and Coach Imba DJ of TNC Pro Team. They assessed the juice in first pick of Falcons PH so well that they built a lineup that faces off against that core pick in the juice in to the point where Benny Cutie is untouchable. 3 Martizi, no deaths, 10 assists on that glue.
I don't know, man. At this point, this is the storm. Like, how do you stop this, man? What do you do to stop the storm? He's 9-0-4, and like you mentioned, you can't. He's untouchable.
Oh, Yaoi
again?
With a conceal commits the title strike. Okay, but Super Mario was able to purify outside again. With a Wiki Shadow kill, they're going to share the damage, but Purify was expended by Super Marco.
Yeah, that's a Purify down. It's crazy, too. 3-Mar, 0-0 and 10 on the glue. He has done work as that stalwart, and now pushing it in the base of Falcons. Lord will knock down this top turret in the base.
All right. Falcons will be able to clear this up. TNC, I don't think they're going to be rushing anything unless one sudden concealed force play by Yaoi. Are they going to pull the trigger on that? They do have more minion waves coming in. They can try to make a play for one more inhibitor turret. The mid and bot. Here comes the middle minion waves.
50 seconds before Super Marco's Purify is active, so they can make a charge. Yaoi again goes in. He's going to pick up Ogwin. Ogwin with a Winter Crown play, but they burst it down. Yaoi being Shadow Kill going there. Ogwin with a Revitalize, but still cannot out-sustain the damage of Zaida.
Even with the Revitalize, it wasn't enough to keep Ogwin alive.
Zaida still so sharp with his entries. With a Wiggy Shadow Kill on point. TNC Pro Team, though, will lose one. They are not going to be able to complete their mission of taking down a tower. Both junglers neck and neck in terms of the items. Mid laners as well. Gold laners as well. Is in the EXP lane where there's just a bit of a considerable gap. committing a Winter Crown Rush, similar to Ogwen, who after building the anti-harass went for Winter Crown right away because they know they are going to be the most susceptible to unleash all the marks for the crossbow of Tang of the 1-1. That's why they bought those items so they can at least waste some, but Benny QD has been on point with the timings for the activation of his ultimate.
Apart from Benny Cutie, even Zaida has been playing such a good game. Prior to the a couple of seconds back, he was able to steal away the orange buff against Kyle TZ and Ogwin with just the shadow. And not to mention, down to the first minute, he was the one who got the first Little Wonder up against 3 members of Falcon with just a shadow. So now, Zaida has been showing that his fast hands, he has faster hands than Kyle TZ.
Well, again, it's, the Suyo, we haven't seen it last series. We saw it a little bit towards the end of the regular season, but it was a whole lot of Hayabusa, and there's a reason for it. But nonetheless, whether it's the Suyo or not, it's really just TNC's playing well together as a team. And it's Yawi initiating a lot of these. He knows that his job, and that's why you mentioned the fleeting time earlier, he has to get these purifies out. If he at least gets some of that down, then that's value for them, and then most likely he's going to have an opportunity to jump on in again. And then even if not him, then 3-Mark can do it. So there's a whole lot of options that TNC has, but look at the placement right now, what's going on here for this next Lord. We've seen Falcons do this before. We'll see if they're able to go ahead and execute things off of this. And Redmar mentioned too, all the lanes, despite it seem like TNC heavily favored, it's relatively even in terms of itemization. It's not too different, but this Lord is being blitzed now at half health. We'll see this. Look at the off angle. Look at Kyle TZ's placement. Will they go ahead and press this in? Are they just going to go for a sandwich play on TNC? But they got a big wave.
Yeah.
Down bot, they're going to know. And Super Marco's there.
Pressure is on for Falcons. TNC gonna try and burst.
Woo!
Flap TZ goes in with a combo. Zaida answers back and Benny Cutie. Bloodlancy picks up the kill onto Kyle TZ. They will be able to secure the Lord, but Yavi wants to go for more. Tsunami slap committed already. They're gonna bring down Flap TZ and Zaida with a kill.
He's just too damn good on that 1-1. The Storm is 9-0-7. We thought the Falcons had the sandwich play to take Benny Cutie out, but it was Kyle TZ who fell down first in that engagement. Lord goes to TNC 18 minutes in.
And you saw the idea there. It was, okay, Flap, go get Lancey or someone, and Kyle TZ was supposed to sweep in and get the kill before he got a chance, but Lancey still was able to pop the Dominator's Ascent and get in that form, and now, they win that fight decisively, and they're looking at possibly ending a game here. Game 1 out of the 20-minute mark. We'll see if they can do it. Mid-turn goes out. Yawi jumps in.
Few pops his Purify. Lord siege in onto the top lane. Immortality of Yawi will be popped. Few has a Crimson Beacon out, but 3-Mark. TZ catches him. There's a Winter Crown play, though. Zaida just seizing the moment, but Yawi was bursted down. Here comes Benny Cutie, though, with a crossbow of Tang. Kyle TZ was able to sustain the damage.
They stay alive.
Yeah, hell of a defense there by Falcons. They were able to hold the Lord as far as they could away from the base. The focus of 3-Mark there on the view forced out Purifies and the Crimson Beacon, but Falcons kept their possession very well, and even Benny QT, able to use the crossbow of Tang, was not able to make the most out of it. Yawi got punished, and Falcons just held on for dear life. Still, again, very close game. The only gap, significant gap, is between the two EXP laners. The item difference between the Glue and the Badang is starting to beef up by Falcons. Still felt, but now at this point, I feel like it doesn't actually matter that much.
It's getting a little, it's getting in that position where it's like, Falcons, what do they have to do to turn this game around? Because their base is completely gone. All the base turrets are taken out now, and they really, it's funny that the way it is. Oh, Yawi popping the conceal. They're going to jump it again.
Oh, he still commits the flicker to catch Flap TZ. There's a Winter Crown play. He might be able to escape, though, as TNC backs off.
Okay, they're going to back off. I don't think they press that any further.
Yeah.
They don't want to just overextend here, but yeah, going back to it, it's like, what does Falcons have to do? They haven't seemed to be able to actually go into these full-on team fights exactly, the past few minutes, but maybe are they at a position to do that now?
Yeah, they just need to pick Benny Cutie, which is so much easier said than done.
Just get Benny.
Yeah, get Benny, because somehow get Benny, or you take down the front line so fast that Benny Cutie is forced to, like, just, hop, step away. Then that's the ideal scenario, but you can't. Again, TNC Pro Team have drafted this lineup so well against a lineup of Falcons PH that despite it all being so close in the goal, you could definitely say Falcons have the damage. They just can't seem to have enough damage to make it to a point where Benny Cutie is so threatened that he gets taken out.
TNC, they might just decide to go and try to burst down the Lord, but still gonna respect the fact that Falcon can steal it away. Ogwin trying to soak up the damage. He does have his immortality. Zaida jumps in. One more hit, but Ogwin saves his immortality though.
Yeah, he's still alive. But you can see that even where Benny was earlier, they still have to be careful in how they approach the fight though. They know the buffs are going to come up. They throw Zaina over to the purple buff. He'll grab that. And you have Kyle Teasy doing the same thing, grabbing his orange. So it's just setting up for this next objective, take this Lord. And there's still the 2 purifies for Falcons, so they can possibly go ahead and counterplay into the setup that TNC is going to be looking for. It's always been Yaoi. It's been Yaoi all day long. And because even he has that flicker available, they might try to this. So it's like Falcons, do they push across the map? They do send Kyle over there. TNC's got that information, but they'll go ahead and start up the Lord. Benny Cutie sent over to deal with this, and I just think we have a standoff for now.
Good macro. Well, our playoffs has been long so far. This is only game 1 in another the second best of 5 series of the day. It's 22 minutes in already.
Wow.
But there's been so much action, so many trades. It's a very active game.
This one has been active. They're going to press it for the Lord.
Okay, it's going to be a retreat back. Oh! Kyle Teasy secures it. TNC wanting to clap back. Uwiki shadow kill for Zaida. Forced out the immortality. Owen still alive with the revitalized. Benny Cutie trying to deal out damage. But in exchange of El Capitan and Owen, Falcons get the Lord.
Oh, Falcons gets the Lord, but still, that was the question I asked earlier. Can they actually win a team fight? And the answer is no. They just got taken out after the Lord was secured. And so this could be an easy just clear out and push into the base unless Falcons can do something to buy some time.
Again, they have the damage, but it just seems to be not enough. They can't reach Benny.
TNC starting the siege, and Zaida goes for the zone and eliminates Super Mario.